So now we're going to put the clicker training into practice. The first thing that I want to do is to use very clean mechanics. So that means that I have my clicker hidden. I've got a home base for my hand, so I'm not out here clicking at the dog like the TV clicker. I've got the clicker so that it is heard but not seen. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the sound of the clicker. And in this case, I'm using food. So I'm going to then reach into my pouch. I want to avoid clicking as I'm reaching, because if I do that, then Riley's going to notice the hand moving into the pouch. He'll pay no attention to the sound of the clicker, and I need him to notice that sound. So I'm going to use my clean mechanics, and I'm going to be working with Riley on his name response. I'm going to start by resetting him, so he's going to be looking down. Riley! As soon as he looks in my general direction, I'm going to click and treat him. And in this particular instance, he looked right at me, but if your dog doesn't know how to do that yet, maybe they just kind of turn in your general direction, maybe they flick an ear. If that's where your dog is starting, then that's what you're going to click. So you call your dog, they flick their ear, you click it, and then you pop a treat into their mouth. So they're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I should listen next time. So I'm gonna reset him again. And while he's looking down, Riley, I'm gonna click him as soon as he checks in with me. This time, I'm gonna place the reinforcer on the floor to reset him for the next time. So that way he doesn't just stare fixedly at me. I want him to learn to turn away, you turn back out again to get the next click and treat. So I'm just gonna have him move and get this treat. Go get that. Riley, good boy. So it's perfectly fine to praise your dog. There's nothing wrong with praise. In fact, it tends to increase the value of the food reinforcer, so I like to use both, but I want to make sure that I'm still letting the sound of the click happen first, let the clicker do the talking, and then I can praise as I'm pulling out my treat. So we'll try this again. We'll have him go chase a reset cookie. Go get that. Good job, buddy. Riley, good boy. What a good puppy dog. Very good job, sir. So that is a very easy way to get started with clicker training, and it's an excellent way to teach your dog their name, maybe they don't know their name yet, or maybe you are wanting to increase your dog's responsiveness to their name. So let's say that you are wanting to take your dog to maybe an off-leash park. So you would call your dog's name in a happy voice, first in the living room, and then maybe in a different part of the house, and then maybe in your fenced backyard, and then maybe in your front yard, and then down the street, and eventually working up to doing it inside the dog park. So we're just, Riley, strengthening that name response. So that it's like when you say his name, it's music to his ears. So he's like, ooh, I heard that. And he's immediately starting to look for you. So we can strengthen the dog's name response and get practice using the clicker at the same time. Riley, good boy. You're so smart. What a good job you're doing.